Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy, Kane, Morris here, and this is live stream number 42. And we're just going to hang out for this stream. For a period of time, I was kind of trying these sort of lesson segment things, and, I may return to that at some point. But for now, I think for the next few streams, I just want to get to know you guys. I just want to play you some songs and just chat about, whatever, see what we have in common and stuff. So with that said, let me ask you, while we're waiting for more people to show up, have you been listening to anything cool lately? Have you discovered any new bands or artists that you like? Maybe you're listening to something that you've, a band that you always love, and you've been listening to them for a long time. Maybe you've discovered something new, let me know. Have you watched anything good lately? Seen any good movies, any shows, discovered any YouTube channels or something? And lastly, are you playing anything right now? This might be a video game that you're trying out. You might be replaying one that you love or playing a new one. You might play online, play something more narrative-based. Or it might not even be video game related. It might be, a sport or an activity, something you've been doing lately. So, let me know. And while we're waiting for more people to show up, I think this is the perfect song for that. This song is called Waiting.
Well,
Thank you. Okay, so unless my eyes deceive me, no one's in the chat, so gonna dive into another song in a moment here. But as far as listening, playing, watching, all that stuff goes, I'm trying to think. I don't know about you guys. I make a lot of lists for everything, whether they're to-do lists or just reminders or lists just to organize like things I'm checking out and stuff. And so on YouTube, I've got a playlist called Music to Check Out. So anytime I discover a new artist or someone tells me to check something out, I'll add it there, and it's kind of music that I'll listen to for a while and try to assess, like, all right, man, do I like this, or like, is this something I would want to purchase and put on my phone, or is this just a song like that, I'm not worried about hearing it again, or would I just add it to like a YouTube playlist or something like that? So I've kind of been listening to that and trying some things out. A few things that stuck with me. I'm still kind of trying out Spirit Box a little bit. I know they're really popular right now, but I definitely wouldn't say I'm a huge Spirit Box fan. But a little bit I've heard, they're definitely really good. They're a really good band. But I'm still trying to decide, like, do I really like connect with what they're doing, or do I just appreciate what they're doing? So I've been listening to some of them. A while back, Thomas Giles from Between the Bear and Me put out like a little EP. I don't know if it was only 3 songs or if there was a few more that I just didn't have on the playlist, but can't remember the name of that project. I think it was just under his name, but that's been pretty sweet. I was checking that out. Man, I feel like there's some other good stuff. This kind of some old, like, well, I guess it's old now, but like early 2000s alternative rock. I think there's a band called Edema or something, and I think the song's called Wait, if I remember correctly. I don't know. So kind of some early 2000s stuff. Yeah, so that's a few things I've been listening to. I know there's some other stuff, probably some stuff I'm forgetting about right now that I probably some stuff that I really dig and I just can't think of it right now. As far as watching goes, most recent thing I watched was Wreck-It Ralph. It's kind of crazy. That movie came out 10 years ago, but I hadn't seen it. So I checked that out, and I liked it. I was actually kind of surprised because, like, the little bit I'd seen of it, it didn't really. I mean, like, I like video games and stuff, but I don't know. Nothing about it really appealed to me. But I think the story kind of surpassed my expectations, and the story sort of elevated everything else, the characters and the genre. But I enjoyed it. Good movie. Looking forward to watching the sequel pretty soon. And what else? And then as far as playing goes, I'm currently playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's been a fun game. It's kind of nice to just sort of be a cowboy and, just kind of do cowboy things and stuff. My favorite stuff to do. I'm trying to get through the story relatively quickly, but I do like finding, games of Texas Hold'em and sort of playing Texas Hold'em rounds within the game. And it's kind of weird. Like, I don't think of myself as much of a, like, fashion guy or anything, but it is nice to kind of dress up in the game, So for a while, I was rocking this, like, black trench coat, black hat and stuff, and but I felt like I needed to, change things up a little bit, and so I got this really nice kind of suit. It's like this red coat and this sort of golden red vest and, like, a puffy red tie, and got, like, kind of a nicer hat and just some black pants and some nice black boots, so... Yep, that's what I've been playing, but anyway, I ask again, what about you? What you been playing? What you been watching? What you been listening to? In the meantime, you can listen to this. I got another song for you. This one's an instrumental. Hope you like it. Thank you. I'm so lonely. I think that's a song. I was kind of mixing that up with the I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. Or I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. Yep. I'm so lonely. Oh, so lonely. Oh, so lonely and isolated and sad. No, I'm not sad. I'm actually in a pretty good mood. Things have been good. Just to update you guys on some stuff that's been going on. Let's see here. Some exciting things. Again, it's still not official, so there's a chance this might not happen, but I have been talking with a, not just a graphic designer. I think she's more of a kind of brand marketing management kind of person thing. I'm not exactly sure what title she would give herself, but we've been talking a little bit, and originally I was kind of going into this thing just thinking like, all right, I just need a simple logo, and then I'll run with that. But talking to her more, I think she's going to help me kind of with my overall brand and image and stuff, and so I'm actually kind of excited about that. And I appreciate that because I didn't just want someone to make a logo for me. I did want someone to sort of collaborate with and kind of give me some feedback because, you know, when it comes to music, I'm pretty intentional, very specific about what I'd like to do. But when it comes to sort of branding or marketing, I'm a little less sure what to do. You know, like I know what I like, but I don't necessarily know like what's the best method or route or thing to do. I'm not really sure what to commit to. And so that is an area where I feel like it would be beneficial to collaborate with someone who can kind of help me, sort of bring my music into a visual representation, and then use that for logos, templates, design, merchandise, that kind of thing. So that's one thing that's sort of taking place. The other thing, that's kind of related to it, but as I'm getting that in development, I am trying to make preparations for live shows, and technically my first live show is going to be in July, so a couple months from now. And I'm mostly set up for that. There's still a few things I'd like to get in place, but I'm very much hoping to do that. So I was kind of hoping I'd be ready before, and maybe I could do like a small gig before it, but I have a feeling that's going to be my first gig. Like, I got to be ready by then, and then by then that'll be my first gig, and then from there I'm going to be trying to play more live shows. So I'm pretty excited about that. Other than that, I've briefly mentioned this before, but I am also in another collaboration with a certain song I'm working on, and I'm hoping that's going to be released. I'm hoping that's going to come out. A lesson I've learned, and some of you guys might benefit from this as well, but I've realized lately that if I'm constantly trying new things and everything I do is something that I'm unfamiliar with and I'm having to sort of, figure out the territory a bit, it's very challenging to be productive and progress at anything because it's just trial and error and you're having to learn and figure things out. Whereas if you can commit to something that you are familiar and you understand what you're trying to accomplish and you know how to do it, and then you can just look ahead like, all right, what's the next step? And that's your only focus is getting to that next step. And then after that, the next step. You really want to balance these two things. So lately, I feel like I've been taking on a few too many new things, just things that are a bit unfamiliar to me. And it has sort of affected my my ability to put out as much music as I would like. So, lesson learned. I'm trying to get through this stuff now, and then in the future, I'm going to make sure that I've got something set in place, something that's like, all right, this is something I'm certain about, I'm committed about, I'm doing it, and then simultaneously learning something new and setting something up, Like, what I should have been doing really is just kind of focusing on putting songs out myself, making content for this channel, and then simultaneously making preparations for playing live. And then once I get that set up where I'm playing live shows, then, maybe I can look into the next new thing, which is maybe some kind of collaboration or something. But either way, that's something I've learned. Maybe it applies to you too. Maybe you feel like sometimes you're trying too many new things and you're trying all this stuff and you're not getting anywhere. And it's probably because you're trying too many new things and you just need to kind of focus on like one thing you can commit to and make progress with, and then simultaneously try just one new thing that you can kind of learn and figure out. And then once you sort of get that figured out, then you can take on something else new. Hey, Stan, good to have you in the chat. I was hoping you'd be here. It's all right, better late than never. How's your day been? Let me know. And Stan, I'm actually going to go into another song here, but one thing I was asking, you can see my opening questions, but I've just been asking, hey, what you been listening to lately? You know, any new artists? Are you revisiting old artists that are favorite of yours? You know, what have you been listening to? What have you been watching? Have you seen anything good lately? A movie, TV show, YouTube series, or channel or something? And then lastly, what have you been playing? Are you playing any video games right now? Or are you playing any sports or activities? You know, what are you doing lately and stuff? So let me know what you've been up to, Stan, and I'm going to go ahead and play another song. This one is called Brothers to the End. Perfect timing indeed. Unbreakable, bonded by our passion, undeniable, brothers till the very end. Just a bunch of outcasts, only meant for slaughter. But we will overcome this if we can band together. Look into my eyes, grab a hold of my hand. Remember who we are, brothers till the very end. Remember who we are. Unforgettable, brothers till the very end, stripped of all its meaning. And now it's just me. And now it's just me. Distant fragment, shattered pieces. Thank you. Okay, Stan, it sounds like the artist name is Rio Speedwagon. Is that right? Rio Speedwagon. And the song is Time for Me to Fly. Is that the song you're saying to check out? I don't think I'd heard of them before, but yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. I just want to make sure I have that right. So, Rio Speedwagon, and the song is called Time for Me to Fly. So, I'll be sure to look that into. I'll add it to that list I was talking about. I don't know if you heard, but you might. It might have been just right when you came in, but I was talking about how I've got a list for music to check out, and I'll add artists to it and or songs and stuff, and then have a listen to it. But cool, sounds good. Well, Stan, now that you're here, I thought we would try something. So there's a movie coming out, or it is out. It's called The Bad Guys. One second. Gotcha. REO Speedwagon. Um, yeah, there's a movie called The Bad Guys. I haven't seen it yet. I think my little nephew Gannon, I think his parents took him to see it, and I've heard it's a fun movie. So it's an animated film about these common bad guy characters. You know, the big bad wolf and the snake and a shark and that kind of thing. But they try to be good guys, and I think they have some disastrous results in the process. So I hadn't seen the movie, but it did get me thinking. What are some of your favorite villains? I thought we might share with each other, whether it's from a movie or a TV show or a video game, anything. Anything goes, but just some of your favorite villain characters. Yeah, let me know a few of them. Who are some of your favorite villains? So, off the top of my head, I mean, of course, I hate to go to superheroes right away and stuff, and technically these aren't superheroes, but, you got to go Joker. Joker is just a great character and like a perfect contrast to Batman. Batman who is about justice and discipline and doing the right thing and very determined and stuff. And the Joker is just kind of wild and no structure, just chaos and anarchy and that kind of thing. And so the two, in Batman very very serious and kind of solemn, and Joker is very jolly and kind of manic and stuff. So the two just contrast each other very nicely. But Joker is a very interesting villain, and in general, Batman has some pretty good villains. I like Two-Face, I like Riddler. Those are some good ones. Did you mean to write Loki? Yeah, that's spelled Loki. Loki. And yeah, Loki's all right. I kind of like him better as a side character, not so much like a main villain character and stuff. I mean, he's fine, um, but yeah, but he's not a bad one. I'm trying to think. Uh, Again, I kind of like a lot of the Spider-Man villains. Thor, or sorry, not Thor. What's his face? Thanos. Thanos was a good villain. Just really good. A character who is really set in his beliefs or whatever. He's just like he thinks he's right, and you kind of understand like why he thinks that, and he's just committed to achieving that goal. So I thought he was a very interesting villain. Um, let's see, who else we got here? And of course, Spider-Man and stuff. I love Green Goblin. Doc Ock's pretty good. Um, but yeah, and then but what about like other villains that aren't like superhero related? I think in Gladiator, probably my favorite like villain to hate is what's his face? Man, the bad guy in Gladiator. I can't remember his name. It's the guy Walking Phoenix plays, but I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. But that guy, uh, he is just downright like awful. He is such a bad guy, and so he makes a really good villain. He's a really great antagonist and stuff. But you're definitely like rooting for Gladius Maximus, against him. So, let's see here, other villains. There's probably some good villains from James Bond. I can't really think of any at the moment, but I'm pretty sure Bond has some good villains. Any other suggestions? I want to think of just a few more. Superhero villains are like the easiest ones to go to and stuff, but I'm trying to think. Hans, I think that's his name, from Die Hard. That's a great villain. The guy who, played by Alan Rickman, guy who comes in and I can do his voice. I can't remember any of his lines from the movies right now, but set the detonator, but yeah, he's a great villain. And I kind of like, what's his face? From James Bond, I'm drawing a blank on the actor's name, but from Casino Royale, the antagonist in that, I like him pretty good, but even him, I wouldn't say he's like he's not even, spoiler alert, but he's not even like the main villain. He's just like working for some other guy, and just, he's just the obstacle that Bond has to face. But let's see. Anyway, those are my initial thoughts. I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and play another song. But Stan, let me know some other villains. Try to write up some. And I think we're going to try to do a bracket. We're going to do a villain bracket. We need 8 villains. So we need 8 really good villains. And we're going to judge them based on, this isn't a fight, like who would win a fight. This is just who's the better villain, like who's a good character. So it's more than just like what power or what, abilities they have. It's literally, how threatening of a villain they are, which I know power has something to do with that, but sometimes it's more than just a physical threat. Sometimes it's an emotional threat or a logical threat or a financial threat, So, so I'm going to go ahead and dive into another song. This one's an instrumental. And and then we'll do a little villain bracket. Oh wow, I don't think I knew that. I've never seen the Kevin Costner Robin Hood. I'm aware of it, but hadn't gotten around to watching it yet. Pretty sure it's on like my Netflix playlist. So, but yeah, Alan Rickman was great. R.I.P. Yeah, I knew he was in Harry Potter, but I still have yet to see those movies. I talked to Josie. For anyone watching, Josie's just a mutual friend of ours, a cousin of mine. But she is going to let me borrow the Harry Potters at some point. So eventually, I'll get around to watching those. But yes, I was aware that he was in those. He was in a lot of good stuff. A great villain. I thought from Mission Impossible 3. It was played by, what's that guy's name? Philip Seymour Hoffman. He plays a villain in Mission Impossible 3. And he's just great. He's just a villain who, takes no threat, is just, and it doesn't bluff. He's just like, hey, he's just a cold, very cold villain, really good villain. Daniel, thanks for joining us. Good to have you in the chat, man. Well, I'll tell you what, since you're stopping by for a bit, Daniel, let me see if I can play a song for you real quick. The past few streams, I know you've only gotten to stop by for a little bit, so I thought I would play a song for you. This is Let's Start Again. But, Daniel, right now we're talking about villains. I think we're going to try to get a bracket going here. I don't know if you'll be able to stick around for the whole bracket. But we're just kind of sharing villains from anything. It doesn't have to be comic book villains. It can be just any movie villains. We were saying from Die Hard, Hans. I think Hans Gruber is his name from Die Hard. Joaquin Phoenix's character from Gladiator. Who else is there? I was just sharing from Mission Impossible 3, the character that Philip Seymour Hoffman plays. So yeah, any villain, throw it out there. All right, while you guys are sharing some villains, this one goes out to Daniel. This one's called Let's Start Again. Just one more time to see if you and I can make it right. I don't understand, why do we always have to fight? I can never understand what's going on inside your head. You could run away or you could talk to me instead. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. Do you think you could love me too? So let's start again. Let's start again. Let's take it back just one more time and try to figure out the reason why you feel the same, or are you messing with my mind? I can never understand what's going on inside. Hey, you could run away or you could talk to me. Accidentally sang that in the first verse, sorry. You said that this would never end. You told me I was your best friend. I watched as we fell apart. You are the one who broke my heart. I wanna leave it all behind, but I can't get you off my mind. It's true, I'm still in love with you. Do you love me? So let's start again. Let's start again. Let's start again. Thank you. Cool, good suggestions there. And yeah, as far as the whole logo thing goes, that I actually mentioned that a little bit earlier. I think it's going to be official by this Saturday. I'm actually meeting with the person, and I think it's a little more than I was originally expecting. So at first I was just going to, get a logo made and then just kind of, take that and run with it and stuff. But now I think the person I'm meeting with is actually almost more of like a brand manager kind of marketing person. So yes, she's going to help me with the logo, but she's going to help with some other things too, just kind of helping me have a sort of a cohesive image, sort of a visual representation of my music that I can use to promote myself. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be working with her, but we're meeting to kind of discuss some things, and but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with it. It's just kind of some last few things to sort of discuss before I pay for all this and stuff. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited for it. Not sure like when we'll have a logo available. Again, we're really assuming we start working together this Saturday. It could be a little while. We had spoken briefly about some concepts and stuff, so pretty sure she knows like what we're trying to accomplish. But I don't know if she's actually put in any work in developing anything yet. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that, and I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. I'm sure you'll probably be able to tell, like, if you see some changes on my YouTube channel or my social media and stuff, it's like, oh, he got that fixed, he got that taken care of. So we'll see what happens. Yep, I'm looking forward to it as well. Daniel, I don't know how long you've got to stick around, but if you got a little bit of time, how have you been? I know it's been a little while, so I don't know if you can give me a brief update of what you've been up to, what's new with you. Earlier, I was just asking, if there's been any cool opportunities, or if you've seen anything, watched any good movies lately, if you're playing any video games right now, or what you've been listening to lately. But yeah, definitely. Like to catch up as long as you can stick around and stuff. Certainly appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, like that particular song, it's not really a metalcore song, but again, I definitely when you had requested it, I just appreciated someone requesting one of my songs, and so that's not a song that I. Like, I'm probably not going to play that in my live shows. I'm probably not going to play it. I usually don't play it regularly, but sometimes, if I haven't done it in a while, I'll be like, all right, if Daniel shows up, I'll do that song. So I kind of have it in my holster, you know what I mean? So I was ready. Like, as soon as he showed up, I'm like, hey, I got a song for you, So yeah, so that one's for you. But so definitely glad you were able to stop by so I could play it. But I will say this, it's probably going to be a long time till this happens, but right now I'm trying to kind of be established as a metalcore artist, but there are other projects I would like to do. And one of those projects is going to be like sort of a pop punk alternative rock kind of thing. And that song would definitely, fall under that category and stuff. So, so hopefully someday, again, I gotta get set in one thing first, but, I love a lot of different styles of music, and definitely that kind of like punk alternative rock kind of stuff. I do enjoy that. Cool. Sounds like work has been going good. Did you get any pictures of the lunar eclipse with the astrophotography and all that stuff? And how's that been coming along? But yeah, And let's see. I'm trying to think. But I think the only other update that you might have missed that I mentioned kind of earlier. So yeah, getting all that logo stuff, branding stuff kind of worked out. And then I sort of shared a lesson that I'd learned. I'm collaborating with someone for a song, and this collaboration has sort of required me to implement some skills that I hadn't really exercised much, I guess you could say. Basically, I wasn't very familiar with mixing this certain instrument, and because of that, it really prolonged the production of the song. I'm getting very close to finishing the song, but even still, I'm not like 100% sure if it's going to be released or not. I hope so, but there's just still some things to work out that are kind of tough to explain right now. But the lesson that I kind of learned, I think sometimes in life you got to be a little careful not to take on too many new things. You should do new things. You do want to branch out. You want to try things. You want to learn new things. But if you're always doing new stuff, like then you're always learning. Like you're always having to go through a phase of trial and error to learn how to actually accomplish that thing. So you're not necessarily making progress, you're only making progress in your knowledge of learning how to do that thing, if that makes sense. Whereas something that you do know how to do, you can progress because you know how to do it. So you can take it and you can say, all right, well, what's the next step? And what's the next goal? What's the next challenge? How do I grow with this? So I think it's important to balance those things, to make sure that you've got something set in place and focus on progressing with that, and then simultaneously take on just one new thing, one thing that you can kind of handle right now, that you can sort of learn the ropes, kind of figure it out, and once you've got a good grip on that, then you can branch out and then try something else new and stuff. And I think, I have a lot of ideas and I enjoy trying things out, but I think that's one area I've just noticed for myself where I got to be careful because sometimes I can get into stuff and then I'm sort of stuck in it and it takes me a while to get out of it. And the stuff that I get into kind of interferes with my ability to do the other things that I'm trying to progress at and stuff. So those are just some lessons I've learned. Maybe you guys can find them helpful. I don't know. Cool. Now, I would guess that, do you somehow, you're saying waiting for a new moon to arrive, so is there like a certain date where you're expecting that to happen? And how do you keep track of that? I don't know if the calendar just tells you or if there's some like app you use that sort of, monitors like the position of the Earth and the moon and the sun and where it's going to be or anything like that. Do you use anything like that to kind of monitor what's happening out in space and stuff, or do you just do you just wing it? Do you just kind of check and say, "Yep, not today"? Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. I don't know if I had shared this with you. Now, when I do get the logo made, it's kind of tricky because, I'm still trying to build an audience. So, like, I can't, obviously the first place I'm going to put the logo is just on my, social media, on my YouTube, that kind of stuff. But I'm going to make some merchandise, but I can't make, like, a bunch of merchandise at first. I got to just make a little bit, and then once people are once I'm getting people's attention and they're actually buying it, then I can make more. So I think the very first thing I'm going to make is a guitar pick. Just going to make some guitar picks. And actually one thing I'm planning to do is like I'll have the picks themselves, but I think I'm going to also get some picks and personalize them by making necklaces out of them. So little guitar pick necklaces with my logo on it. So I thought that'd be kind of cool. It kind of So yeah, it's something like that I made, and you can know like, hey, I handmade this and stuff, and so that's what I'm going to start with. And then the next thing I would like to do would be, there's actually probably going to be stickers next, but then T-shirts. Like I'd love to get to T-shirts. If I get to the point where I've got like a T-shirt, and really when it comes to T-shirts, like I'd love to make something that I know like that people are going to like and stuff. So. Just so you guys know, maybe not just yet, but I'll definitely be asking your opinion for a lot of merchandise, especially the clothing stuff. Because basically, I'd love it I want to make sure it's something that you want to wear, Like, I don't want to just make something and then you're like, oh, that's cool, Quincy. I want to make sure it's something you're like, oh, that's sweet. Yeah, I would wear that, So definitely, appreciate feedback in that department. Thanks, Daniel. You have a good night. Hope you have a good rest of your shift and stuff. And thanks for stopping by. Glad we got to chat for a little bit. Hopefully, you'll have a little more time at some point so we can really hang out and stuff. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. And glad you're looking forward to it. But take care, dude. All right, Stan. Let's see here. I've really only got one song left, so let me think. I'm trying to think if we should try. Let's try our villain bracket real quick. Go ahead and name some. I'm gonna come down there. Let's come down to the floor and talk to contestant number 1. All right. So let's see. Who are we gonna nominate? We need 8 nominations. For me, let's see. We'll probably do a part 2 of this, Well, I'll definitely do this again. It'll be fun to do this when we have more suggestions. Let's do Hans Gruber. I'm going to type that. Pretty sure that's his name. I could be totally wrong. I might be mixing that up with someone else, but Hans Gruber. We'll do Joker. And let me see if I can Google it real quick. Gonna see what's the name of the character walking. Oh yeah, I forgot. Walking Phoenix did play Joker also. So that's kind of funny. We're just picking all Walking Phoenix villains. Commodus, that's his name. I'm gonna nominate him. Commodus. Who else we got here? Probably forgetting some villains that I really like. The King from Gladiator is a pretty good villain, but I don't know if I would nominate him right now. Maybe for another one. Let's see. Philip. Seymour Hoffman. Mission Impossible 3. Let's see. Owen Davian was the name of his character. So, all right. Those will be my 4. Owen Davian. What are going to be your 4 suggestions? Can you type up 4 villains? And let me see if I can think of any others. What are some of my favorite movies? Taken is one of my favorite movies, but it doesn't really have like a main villain. Who else is there? I like the Bourne movies, but again, kind of the same deal. The villains are kind of sort of the government, The guy from Anaconda. Yeah, I think that was played by, who was that? Oh my gosh. I'm drawing a blank. Isn't it the same guy who played Hannibal Lecter? Is that the same actor, or am I getting that confused with someone else? No, I think it's John Voight, which he is from the what do you call them? The National Treasure movies. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep politics out of this, I want this to be a place of unity, not division, so. Let's see. Well, if you want to nominate the guy from Anaconda, It was John Voight, the actor. I missed the name of the character, though. Let me look that up real quick. Paul Cerrone. Paul Cerrone. Okay, let's see. Who else we got? Oh, The Matrix. What's that dude's name? The Matrix. I'm trying to remember. What's his face? Yeah, Hugo Weaving. He's a great actor. Agent Smith. How could I forget that? That might be a good one. Yep. Agent Smith. Any other suggestions? Stan? Let's see, how many we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We just need 2 more. 2 more villains. Some other movies. Let me think. Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones villains are good. I like them, but I don't know if I would nominate them for like the best villains. Because they're not even the main, force against Indiana Jones. A lot of it's just the obstacles that he has to face. It's not like the villain is directly interfering or interacting with, his accomplishments or his goals or whatever. They just kind of interact occasionally. Let's see here. Other movies. I'm going to forget like every movie I've ever loved. Who else we got? Maybe a cartoon villain, There's what's-his-face from Pocahontas. The temple guy from Road to El Dorado. He's a pretty good villain. In Toy Story, maybe is there? Al, the chicken guy. He's a pretty good villain. What else we got here? Stan, you still there? We just need 2 more suggestions. Okay, real quick. That can't be right. All right, let's see here. I'm trying to look up some movies right now and just see if I can remember any of the villains from them. Man, sorry if I'm dragging this out. I was hoping this would go by a little bit quicker. Let's see. Incredibles had a pretty good villain. Jumanji, didn't really have the most memorable villain. All right, for time's sake, I'm just gonna spit some out. Ursula from Little Mermaid, that's a good one. Let's do Ursula. And I think the last one we're gonna do is Green Goblin, because he was great in both movies, Willem Dafoe is awesome, so. All right, there's our nominees. Let me see here. I want to... All right, and just remember, Paul Cerrone, that's the guy from Anaconda. Owen Davian is the guy from Mission Impossible 3. So let's pair some of these up. All right, I tell you what, we're going to do Joker versus Green Goblin. That's already very hard. Be nice if we had one more person, because Stan, if you and I vote differently, it's a tie. So it'd be nice to have a tiebreaker. So, all right, let's do Ursula versus Hmm. We'll do Ursula versus Commodus, you know, from Gladiator. Commodus. And we're going to do, let's do Hans Gruber versus Owen Davian. Hans Gruber versus Owen Davian. Hold on. What's up? And who do we got left? And then Paul Cerrone versus Agent Smith. Chung Lee. Let's see here. Wait, you mean from Street Fighter? Or is this... No, that's Chun-Li. Chung-Li from what? Because Chun-Li from Street Fighter, I'm pretty sure, is not a villain. Yeah, I'm trying to search. I'm not sure which character you're talking about. From Bloodsport. Okay. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Bloodsport. I need to see that one. Oh, it's Chong, like Chong, and then Li. Chong Li. If you'd like to nominate him, I haven't seen... pretty much, I've seen all these movies. I haven't seen Anaconda in a while, so I can't really accurately judge that villain. And I've never seen Bloodsport. So would you like to replace Chong Li with one of the other nominations, or do you just want to keep it as it is? Let me know what you think about that. The last one, I'll go ahead and kind of type it in, would have been, I mean, we could switch this up, but it would have been Agent Smith versus, what's his face? Paul Cerrone, who's the guy from Anaconda. Okay, that's pretty cool. It is a true story. Well, I'll try to watch that at some point, and then we'll see. But let's go with these nominations for time's sake and stuff. All right, so I'm going to let you vote. So we've got Agent Smith versus Paul Cerrone, the guy from Anaconda. We got Hans Gruber versus Owen Davian, the guy from Mission Impossible 3. Ursula versus Commodus from Gladiator. Joker versus Green Goblin. So I'm going to let you vote while I play this last song, and then I will help you and we'll choose a winner. So here we go. Let me get reset up here. And, you know, try to be objective. Don't just pick your favorites. Try to, like, really think of the role they play in the movie and how well they fulfill the role as a villain. I mean, yes, you can, you know, you're allowed to have, you know, favorites or opinions or, you know, who's cooler or whatever, but yeah, try to think of, like, how they serve the story and stuff. All right, let me tune real quick. Here we go. Last song. This one's called Love's Not Fair. So yeah, this song goes out to any bad guys out there because, you know, whether you realize it or not, you're still loved. So, because love's not fair. staring at my own reflection through shattered bits of glass, showing me the perfect picture of who I really am. But when you look at me, you never turn away, kneeling next to me and picking up the pieces. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. I am such a useless failure, fallen to the ground. Every effort that I muster is never good enough. But when you look at me, standing next to me and holding out your hand, why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. If I take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. If I'd take just one moment away from my self-loathing, then maybe I would notice that I'm not meant to be broken. So stop beating up myself. You took the punishment yourself, and it's just foolish pride to think that I could ever hurt myself enough to cover what I've done. I could cut myself dry, and it still would never be enough. It makes no sense at all. Why do you care? I know I'm undeserving of the love that you have chosen to share. It's just not fair. But love isn't fair. In spite of all I am, you chose to die for me, and that isn't fair. But love's not fair. Thank you. Pablo, thanks for joining us. And good timing, too, because we needed a third person. We needed a tiebreaker here. Let me see what the chat's saying. Hey, guys. I came a little late. No worries. Better late than never. Although you might be a little late since that was going to be my last song. Maybe I'll pull out one more. We'll see. This song is great. Thanks, Pablo. Glad you like it. I'm great, and you? I'm good, man. Awesome. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm hoping at some point to get around to recording that one. And what's going to be cool is when I do record it, it's actually going to be acoustic guitar rather than the clean electric. And the acoustic sounds a lot better. Like the electric's not bad, but it sounds really good with acoustic guitar. So, Pablo, we were having a little brackets thing. We were talking about villains, some of our favorite villains from movies. Have you seen these movies? These are our nominations. We've got 8 nominations. So we've got Joker versus Green Goblin. And technically, it's the character. So Joker from Batman, and it can be any version of Joker, whichever one you like best, versus Green Goblin from Spider-Man. And again, whichever Green Goblin. I think there's only been one adaptation for, like, movies, but obviously there's also the TV show or the comic or whatever. We've got Ursula versus Commodus. Ursula is, from Little Mermaid, the octopus lady. And then Commodus is from Gladiator. He's the character that Joaquin Phoenix plays. You know, the guy that, like, has his family killed and stuff. He's a really good villain. He is a very bad guy. We've got Hans Gruber versus Owen Davian. So Hans Gruber is from Die Hard, played by Alan Rickman. And he's the guy he's the the leader of the terrorist organization that takes over the building. Owen Davian is the character that Philip Seymour Hoffman plays in Mission Impossible 3. So, he's the main villain in that. And he's just a very cold and calculated character. And then last, we've got Agent Smith versus Paul Cerrone. Agent Smith from The Matrix, played by Hugo Weaving. And then Paul Cerrone, this is the villain from the movie Anaconda, which I haven't seen in a long time, so I can't say I really remember that character. But are you familiar with those movies? And yeah, what's up? Let's see. Do you have the metronome in your headphones? So believe it or not, for that song, I don't have metronome. I do have a backing track. So 1 second, I'll play it again real quick. So if I play that track, you can hear the other guitar playing. It starts off with a timer. And so that's the other guitar playing. And so I'm just playing along with that, which is pretty tricky, actually, with no timing. So I just do my best. And then it's pretty tough on the pauses. So with, like, the chords, I got to be, like, right on it. Do you care? And when you're singing, it can be a little tricky to hear it sometimes. But yeah, I strum along with it. And then same thing here, it goes to this part. So the pauses are the trickiest part because I got to come in, like, just at the right timing. But I can kind of adjust. I can tell, like, oh, I came in a little early that time, so I'll drag it the next time. Or I came in a little late, I'll speed it up a little bit, you know. And I've played this song a few times before, so I can just tell, like, usually the reminder for myself is that I just need to be kind of snappy with it. Yeah, just like it can be really easy to drag it. So I try to be a little snappy, you know, not necessarily fast, just snappy, you know. And then when the drums kick in, you know, during this section, it's a little bit easier to keep time, of course. But all that other stuff, no metronome or anything like that. So just being hopeful. See, for me, Joker, then Commodus, Han Gruber, and Agent Smith. All right, good suggestions, or good picks. Stan, let's see, you said, you said Joker, you said Commodus, and Hans Gruber. So Joker, all right, so I think we're all in agreement on that. And then the last one was Agent Smith versus Paul Cerrone. So we need your pick for that, Stan. So between Agent Smith and Paul Cerrone, who would you choose? To be honest, I mean, I don't know who you're going to pick, Stan, but I think so far we're all in agreement. Well, actually, you know, like, it's really tough because I really like the Green Goblin, especially Willem Dafoe's version. But, you know, really Willem Dafoe's version is, like, my favorite, whereas Joker is just a great character. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was good as a Joker. Heath Ledger is obviously legendary as a Joker. And then who I think is the real Joker is Mark Hamill, you know, from the animated series. So that's like 3 great performances for a good character. So yeah, even though I love the Green Goblin, I think I would have to go Joker. For Ursula and Commodus, Ursula is a great Disney villain, and great for that movie. But yeah, I mean, Commodus is such a bad guy. Like, Commodus, like, Stan, I think, said earlier, like, you love to hate him. Like, and yeah, absolutely. He's just despicable in that movie. So he's such a good villain. So I got to go Commodus. And, you know, Owen Davian is a really good villain, and Philip Seymour Hoffman's a great actor, or was a great actor, rest in peace. But Actually, yeah, sadly, we've lost both of those actors, Alan Rickman and Philip Seymour Hoffman. Man, some great talent there. Um, but I had to look up Owen's name, and I could remember Han's name, and I haven't even seen Die Hard in a while. So the fact that I can remember his name, that's got to mean something. So even though I love Mission Impossible 3, it's actually one of my favorite of that series. I think I would have to agree, Hans Gruber. And then I haven't seen Anaconda in a while, so for me it's kind of an easy pick. I'd have to go Agent Smith over Paul there. What about Thanos versus Apocalypse from? I actually don't think I'd seen the X-Men with Apocalypse. I did mention Thanos earlier, but he's currently not in this bracket. But we might do this again sometime. We'll do another villain bracket, and we can get Thanos in that. Earlier, it's been mostly just me and Stan. Daniel popped in for a little bit, but that was after. No, that was either after or before we started doing the brackets and stuff. But so it's kind of just been me and Stan doing the brackets right now. So yeah, Stan, what's your pick? You going with Agent Smith or? I mean, I'd be curious to hear what you pick, but I guess either way, since me and Pablo are going with Agent Smith, I guess that's breaks the tie right there. Is the first mutant? Oh, interesting. Yeah. I think I'd heard something like that. Yeah, him being the first mutant. But I hadn't seen that movie. I've seen a lot of the X-Men movies, but yeah, I hadn't seen X-Men Apocalypse. Magneto. Magneto's a great villain. He's another one we might have to bring up at some point. Well, actually, you could argue that he's not. I mean, he is a villain, but X-Men's so cool because it's got like this three-way, like triangle battle. You've basically got humans, and you've got mutants, but not all the mutants agree. You've got mutants who believe that they are greater than humans, and then you've got mutants who believe that they can coexist with humans. And then you've got humans who believe that mutants are a threat, and then you've got humans who admire humans who admire the mutants. So it's a very interesting, like, I love that dynamic. It's not like, it's just not black and white, there's a lot of layers to it. So yeah, pretty much, yeah. Magneto's like Vegeta from Dragon Ball, yeah. All right, cool. So let's see here. So we've got our votes. All right, let's do... I tell you what, let's do Joker versus Agent Smith. Versus Agent Smith. We got Joker versus Agent Smith. And then we've got Hans versus Commodus. Man, this is going to be tough. Hans versus Commodus. All right, there we go. So who are you guys voting in that category? For me, I think the first pick, yeah, this is definitely harder. The first pick, I think, is a little easier for me. Like I like The Matrix. The first movie's really great, and Agent Smith is a great character. But for me, that one's not as hard. I think I'd have to go Joker. Like I said, there's just 3 great performances of Joker. It's just a really good character. And Agent Smith is cool, but he is very, he's very specific to that world and stuff. Yeah, so for me, I think I'd have to go Joker. Now, Hans and Commodus, that's a little bit tougher. Hans, you got this very, like, calm, cool, collected, kind of, like, calculating villain. And he's got a very powerful... That's kind of interesting. Hans has a very, like, powerful demeanor about him, where Commodus is, like, trying to give the impression that he's powerful, but he's actually a very weak... He's like a little weakling, he's, like, crying to his sister and stuff. But he's very manipulative, and he, let's see, Commodus, he's a backstabber, killing his own father. He's jealous. He's just driven. And he just does a lot of despicable, awful things. He might even do worse things than Hans does. Like, I know Hans is, like, threatening to blow up the building and stuff. And I think he shoots a few people in the process. But, like, Commodus, like, had Maximus's family killed, his son killed. Whew. I think if I had to pick between those two, I love Hans Gruber as a villain. I think he's great. I love Alan Rickman, but I think I got to go Commodus. Commodus is such a despicable character, you know. All right. In a one-on-one battle, Agent Smith won. But thinking about the character itself, that's right. Yeah, this isn't fighting. You know, this is. You're right. The verse might imply like if they were to fight, but this is more so the character that we're talking about. You know, and the villain they are in their world. Because yeah, if it was a fight, Agent Smith would probably beat all of them. I think even our other characters. You know, Green Goblin would be maybe a challenge for him. Green Goblin would probably be the only like fight that could put up. So yeah, so just to clarify, these brackets are not who would win in a fight. This it's just purely just the character as a villain and stuff. So for me, my pick, I'm gonna go Joker and Commodus. What about you guys? Who are your choices? Waiting to hear from Pablo and Stan. So because he has power. Which character has power, and in what way? Do you mean Agent Smith having power, or do you mean that Commodus has, you know, throne power, different kinds of power and stuff? But I agree, Joker. I love the animated version, the comic version, and the Killing Joke. Yeah, there's a lot of great versions of the Joker, and so it's definitely a really good villain character. But yeah. So what about you, Stan? Who you going with? And who's your other pick, Pablo, between Hans and Commodus? So for me, I'm going Joker and Commodus. But we got to see where you guys vote. Walking Phoenix, yep. So Commodus, yep. All right, so far, me and Pablo are in agreement. Stan, what about you? What are your two picks between those? And I'm trying to think how else to fill the space. Yes. And Pablo, just so you know, yeah, Commodus is a great villain. You know, like I said, he's just despicable. He's just a really, really good character for that movie. You know, yep, makes you feel the hate. Yeah. But Pablo, just so you know, the past few streams I've been trying, like I was kind of trying to sort of educate a little bit, sort of teach, do these like little lessons and stuff, and I'm kind of taking a break from that. I might, do that from time to time. We'll see. I might wait till it's maybe more requested. If someone requests like, "Hey, can you share this? Share your live rig, or can you talk about how you make your music videos or something?" If someone were to leave a comment, maybe I would do an episode about that. But I think we're going to try to do more of a hangout thing. So definitely, if you can make it, on Thursdays, come hang out and we'll talk about, whatever we want. I'm thinking of doing more of these brackets. We've done them before and they're fun, especially when you have more people. It's pretty fun. So, all right, Stan's got Commodus, and then are you going with Joker as well, or are you going with Agent Smith? Because, yeah, I didn't see your pick from that point. But yeah, cool. But yeah, so, kind of just doing hangouts and stuff, and yeah, just, a little more easygoing while I'm performing songs and stuff. So, yeah, there you go. All right, Joker and Commodus, sweet. Great. What about your artistic name? Will you change it? Possibly. So, this Saturday, I'm actually meeting with the person who's going to help me with my logo. Originally, I was thinking this would be kind of a simpler process. Like, I thought I was just going to hire a graphic designer, design a logo and then run with that. But the person, I had a friend who connected me with this person who I think is more of like a brand manager, marketing kind of person. And so not only is she going to design a logo for me, but she's kind of going to help me possibly change the artist's name, kind of help me have a visual for my music and stuff, and sort of a cohesive, theme across all my branding and my media platform and my merchandise and all that stuff. So, So not sure yet. I know we had talked about maybe dropping the Morris and just going to Quincy Kane. I think that's still very much a possibility. But she and I, we haven't had those conversations yet because we actually haven't started working together yet. We're meeting this Saturday to discuss the collaboration a little bit more, and then that day it should be the final, like, yes, we're going to go through with this, or I don't know if we're a good fit. So we'll see. But I'm very much planning to be working with her, but we're just having a conversation this Saturday about that. So, yep, that's right. Yep. So we'll see. But that's all. It's in the process. All right, guys, here we go. The finale: Joker versus Commodus. This is tough. Whoops, I think I spelled that wrong. What's kind of funny, if we're talking about which character do you like better, cool. I appreciate that, Pablo. That's good feedback. And I think if I remember, I think Stan agreed too. We kind of liked that, and so I do think we're probably going to work with that. But again, I still have to talk with her and kind of figure out what to do with that. So we'll see. But yeah, so this is a tough pick because I definitely like the Joker better. Like, I actually like the Joker. I can't say I like Commodus, but I mean, as a villain, that is what makes him a really good villain, is because he's very unlikable. He's just an awful guy. I'm trying to think. I know Joker's done some rough things. It kind of depends on what version of him you're seeing. If you're watching the animated series, he's very much just kind of a fun villain, who just causes chaos. He's never really done anything. He's never done anything, terribly despicable or wrong or anything. If you look at some of the darker versions of Joker and some iterations, I know he's done some pretty rough stuff. So, man, it's a tough call. So yeah, Joker's definitely the more likable, definitely the more fun character of the two. But Commodus, again, just really, when you look at the movie Gladiator and you think about what, like the reason you're rooting for Maximus, the reason you want him to succeed is because of how bad the villain is. Like, if Commodus really wasn't that bad of a villain, like, there wouldn't be that much drive or motivation, or it wouldn't be that big a deal for, to see the obstacles that Maximus has to overcome. But because of what Commodus has done to him, it's a bit of a revenge tale, and more of a justice than revenge. It's him, doing what is right. This guy who's meant to be the leader, the guy who was actually chosen to be, the next emperor of Rome, but in his humility, he did not want to take that position. Commodus wants the power. He wants to be the emperor, whereas Maximus, is just kind of a humble servant character, but that's why he would make the better emperor. But he gets cheated, and then in that process, he ends up fighting back, and a gladiator who's lower than a slave ends up, becoming more beloved and more respected than the emperor of Rome. But the only reason that story works is because of, the despicable villain that Commodus is. Do you need to love the villain or do you need to hate them? Because he is a villain. Is he really? Because I know... I'll have to look that up. Are you sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure I know Gladiator is is a fictional story. It'd be amazing if it was a true story. If it is, that would blow my mind. But I suppose it's possible that certain characters. I mean, I think his dad was Caesar, so that's based on true. Which I think there was more than one Caesar too. I have to look into that a little bit. Because I'm pretty sure that was Caesar, because he kills him. But the way Caesar is killed in history is like I think he's assassinated in a hallway, and a bunch of guys with knives or something. Right? Yeah, kind of just loosely based on history, but not like the story itself. But very interesting. Okay, cool. That is interesting. All right, so sounds like, yeah, this is a tough pick, because are we going like, who's the worst villain, who's the worst character, or who's the more likable? Yeah, which villain do you love, which one do you hate? That's a tough call. Stan, who would you go with? Oh, was that a real event too? Was it real that the Emperor actually fought in an arena thing? I'll have to look into that. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, I'd like to hear what Stan would say. Pablo, do you think you're still going with Joker, or do you have or has your opinion been swayed at all? And Stan, just waiting for your input if you're still out there. Right, yeah. Maximus, I would imagine, is a fictional character, but that's pretty cool that Commodus was actually based on a real person. I don't know if Stan disappeared or what. So it might just be between us. I was hoping Stan could kind of be the tiebreaker. I wanted to see what Stan's opinion was, but yeah, I got to get going here in a moment. Let's see. That's a tough pick. All right, like if we're just choosing like, I think you got to go Joker because Joker's just such an iconic villain. Like everyone knows who Joker is. If you said Commodus, some people might not know who you're talking about at first. But now what's interesting, if I had to pick like movies, I would probably pick Gladiator over, any of the Joker movies. I mean, they're great. Joker with, oh, what's funny? Both of these are Joaquin Phoenix characters too. Joaquin Phoenix played Joker, so it's which Joaquin Phoenix performance, if we were purely going off of Joaquin Phoenix, I would pick Gladiator over the Joker movie or whatever, even though I thought that was a good movie. And then, Heath Ledger was a great Joker. Dark Knight is a great movie. But even still, like, it's a great movie. It's one of my favorites, like 10 out of 10. But Gladiator is like in my top 10 movies. Like, I love Gladiator. So yeah. So if we're talking movies, I'd go Gladiator. I think, I like that even better than the Batman related stuff. But if we're talking purely just the character, I think you got to go Joker. So cool. Pablo, if you'd like, I might do one more song for you. Definitely got to call this a wrap in a moment here, but I know you kind of came in a little bit later. You only caught the one song. Let me see. I'm kind of looking through, seeing what song I can do for you. I don't know if you have I tell you what, I will do. Let's see here. I'm trying to think what song I could do. I don't know if you have a request, if you can remember the title of any of my songs. Trying to look through. I'm thinking of just doing Brothers to the End. I did it earlier, but I might do that one again. Brothers to the End or Get Up Again or something like that. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Gladiator does have a good soundtrack. Hans Zimmer did the, like the score for that movie and stuff, and he's a great composer. And he did the score for The Dark Knight. So. All right, let's see. Instrumental. Let's go with... Here, I got one. I don't know if you've heard this one. Maybe you'll recognize it. I did this one earlier, but this is a fun one to play, and a favorite of mine. So I got an instrumental for you, and then going to call it a wrap. So here we go. This one goes out to you, Pablo. Let me get a distorted tone first. Still had it on my clean tone. and I'm not. Okay, see, the show was supposed to be over right now. I forgot. I tuned to standard. There we go. All right, take 3. There we go. All right, Pablo, Stan, and Daniel, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. Anyone watching on the replay, thanks so much. Just so you know, if you'd like to support me, there's a link in the description to a virtual tip jar, and I certainly appreciate that. If you don't have the financial means to support me, my biggest goal right now is just building an audience. So if you can share my content, invite people to come to the streams or check out the channel or videos, you know, being sure to like the video and subscribe and all that stuff, that's really helpful. And if you haven't joined my email list yet, there's a link in the description to my email list, and I'd certainly appreciate that. I'm also going to post a few links in the chat in a moment here. And again, hoping to just kind of do more just hanging out, getting to know each other, and you know, keeping in touch and stuff. And I'm certainly going to keep you guys posted with the projects I have coming up and stuff. Getting some things worked out, so looking forward to that. Pablo, if you ever have any suggestions, things, you know, topics you'd like to discuss, or for future episodes and things like that, or bracket suggestions, you know, what's the next bracket we could do? One I was thinking, so Tom Cruise has the what is it? The Top Gun movie coming out. So I was thinking we could do maybe a Tom Cruise bracket for every character he's played in like different movies and stuff. So that might be fun or something. So he's, you know, I'm actually a pretty big Tom Cruise fan. Like he makes good movies. You know, I love a lot of the movies he's in and stuff. Love the Mission Impossible. Collateral is like in my top 10. Love you know, the couple movies that he did, a couple movies with Steven Spielberg. What did he do? War of the Worlds, which, you know, was okay. I need to see it again. It's been a while since I've seen it. But what's the other one? What is that movie called? Sci-fi movie. Drawing a blank on it, but and of course I'm forgetting like every movie that I do love. That but I don't know. He's just in good stuff. So maybe we'll do that next time or something. But cool. That's all I got for you all this evening. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all have a good evening, or, you know, good morning, good night, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you're in the world. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.